Right, welcome back to another iRacing video, ladies and gentlemen. This time we are at Imola and we are in the FIA, the official FIA Formula 4s. These cars are a great bit of fun, a little bit of downforce I think over a Formula Ford obviously, but in the end it is all about momentum with these cars. Let's have a look at the track map. 19 corners in total. I think Aquaminarale and Variante alter probably some crucial corner complexes in terms of, maintaining momentum and making up some spots. Lights out, away we go. Decent start, managed to pip the guy next to us quite quickly, but just as quickly as we do that, I sort of back out of the throttle there, because honestly just trying to have a clean race here. We're going to let this guy sort of have a look on the inside, but I think we managed to hold that overtake and keep that spot that we made off the start. Because honestly, one thing that I've experienced in racing the F4 series is that it can be quite hectic and there's lots of crashes. People are just over exuberant in their driving, myself included of course. And it is quite a pattern that I've seen when I look at the F4 content on other iRacing content creators. But so far, first few corners, everybody's been well behaved so far in this race. But just as I say that, a couple of cars going off the track, spinning around, absolutely unfortunate for them. Might have a look at a replay here now. We're just going to have a look and see what happened here. Red car seems to have gotten tagged from behind, unfortunate for them, but they managed to pull it up on the kitty litter and keep it out of the barrier. So a bit of damage mitigation I think for them for the rest of this race, unfortunate, but we're going to jump back into the action. We're managing to keep up with the pack with these throuple of cars in front of us. People love their trading paints, liveries. You gotta appreciate it. We've got a McLaren in front of us, and then I think a couple of cars in front of us. There appears to be a Renault, I think, yeah, an old school Renault livery. And shout out to car number 7 rocking a Peppa Pig livery. Screaming through and managing to overtake us, but that's okay. There's plenty of race still left in this. I think this was in the end about a 30-minute race if I'm not mistaken. Going to cross the line, complete that first lap, and so far managed to keep our nose clean, but like I said, it is quite hectic and we've got to head down into the first chicane, and already more cars off the track. Absolute carnage. Everyone is checking up and trying to avoid it. Car number 7 managing to, I think, yield the most benefit out of that monster in multiple overtakes there and managing to get past 3-4 people in one go. Absolute props to them. McLaren guy goes off the track, unfortunate for them. Let's have a look at the replay. There's a couple of cars involved here. So that was car number 16, I think, getting caught in the middle of going 3 wide. Then car number 19 just loses it by themselves, and there's a couple of cars going off there. We'll have a look at that one. So that is car number 8 we're going to have a look at here. Managing a decent entry, and then they just get tagged from behind. So unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. This is what I mean. The F4 series is absolute carnage and it's so hectic. Everyone is driving like a bat out of hell. And the thing is, there's not a lot of speed in these cars, and ultimately, as we see someone else going off the track, they have spun it around on their final chicane. That final chicane is definitely something to keep an eye on. A lot of people losing spots in that particular area. You can lose spots, but you can also make up spots if you get it right. But as I was saying, the Formula 4 cars, they don't really have a whole lot of speed, at least in my opinion. It is ultimately what I think is just a Formula Ford with a couple of wings strapped onto it. And yes, you get a little bit of aerodynamic, downforce from it, but honestly, this car is all about momentum. You really can't just stab on the brake, drop a few cogs and enter a corner and exit with, massive speed as you would do with, say, maybe a Super Formula Light. You can do that, but probably you can more find that effective in, Super Formulas or even Formula 1 cars, which I'm yet to drive. So maybe, hopefully soon I can get behind the wheel of one of those, because honestly, I just haven't found myself you know, driving those for whatever reason, just because I don't own the car or or any of the tracks when they come up. But anyways, car number 15 there, let us go by. Not sure what happened, but we're going to fast forward here, and we're managing to catch up to the guy in the Renault is car number 17, I think car number 3, who's directly in front of us here. Both of them jockeying for position has allowed us to really reel them in and close the gap on these two. And this is basically at the top end of the field, basically, at this point, after all those cars sort of running out and, you know, crashing into each other, unfortunately. And car 17 there getting overtaken by car number 3. That loss in momentum has allowed us to close the gap on them, as we're going to try and, you know, just sniff out an overtake here, heading into the second to final corner rather, as car 17 messes it up, goes deep and goes wide. Unfortunate for them, but what you're about to see though, even though these cars are slow, the slipstream effect is absolutely monstrous, and it's something that you see even in the Formula Ford cars. The slipstream effect is so strong. As we cross the line, going to start out another lap, and here comes car number 17. It is not over, as we're going to head into the first chicane. They managed to stick that overtake. We're going to let them go by again, just trying to keep a clean race ultimately, and just keep our nose clean. And, you know, just try and avoid any incident points, as we're just going to try and use car 17 now and use their slipstream to try and drag us further up the track. It's sort of a strategy that I've tried to practice more often nowadays, because, you know, I'm not the fastest driver, I'm definitely not the most technical, that's for sure. And there's a plethora of really fast drivers on the grid at times, and quite often I try to use that to my advantage, let them pass and then try and stick with them, as car 17 goes way wide of the exit of that corner, heading down into now Acqua Minerale. Great corner to make up a load of momentum and, you know, close the distance on a car in front of you. This time around, just trying to manage that gap and trying to use car 17's slipstream as we head into the final chicane here. Very easy to get the car unsettled and, you know, absolutely spin the car around and ruin your race. But this time around, managing to navigate that without any issues at all, as we fast forward a few more laps, and we're still behind car number 17 heading into Acqua Minerale once more. But this time we have the momentum on the exit, and we're going to try and drag race 17 down to the last final chicane of this lap, and we're going to stab on the brakes, and we get it absolutely wrong. Car number 15 there waiting in the wings, another car there going past as well, and we lose 3 spots. Absolutely unfortunate, absolutely cooked that braking and that overtake. And well, what can you do? It's all about damage mitigation. We have a look at the replay here. So really unsettled the car and grabbed that, you know, that inside curb there off the chicane, and really unsettled the balance of the car, and that's what happened. Just sort of, you know, swung us around, and absolutely unfortunate. But anyways, back to the action. Just gonna have to try and dig in and try and, you know, get that close the distance, close the gap on those guys once again, as we're going to let car 7 by us this time, because if there's one thing I do remember is they were definitely one of the faster drivers in this race. So again, just trying to employ that strategy of using them to our advantage, try and stick to the slipstream of the fast guys in front of me, and then try and, you know, get them to drag us further up the track and close the gap on the guys in front of us. As you can see, we're just sort of working out a little bit. We're slowly closing the gap on car number 17 in that Renault, and car number 15, I think, that black and white car a little bit further up as well. As we're going to fast forward here, strategy's paid off. Car number 7, the Peppa Pig car, has allowed us to catch up to this to those two up front, the Renault and car number 15 as well. And, you know, like I said, it works out pretty well if you can maintain momentum and maintain clean entries and exits. If there's a guy that is faster than you, let them go and just try and stick with them best you can. Let them drag you up the track, as we've managed to do so here. And again, just trying to keep it clean here though, you know, not trying to go gung-ho, because again, the slipstream effect is so strong, and it is so easy to get past the car in front of you because of that strong slipstream, as you can see here. Car number 7 having a go, and drag racing car 15 down to the first chicane. We're gonna have a go as well. It's gotta be 3 into the first chicane. We're gonna back out because I sensed a crash absolutely was going to happen, so I'm just gonna back out, let them sort themselves out. There's still plenty of race left in this. Again, I think it was like a 20-30 minute odd race, and just trying to keep it clean. We're gonna fast forward here again. That that strategy of just hanging with the fast guys is sort of paying off for us. We managed to close the gap here, coming out of the final corner, heading on to the pit straight. I'm gonna be crossing the start finish line to start another lap, and this time car 15, car 7, car 17, ourselves 4 battling for position here, and then crash. Number 17 gets tagged and sent off into the ether. Absolutely unfortunate for them. We'll have a quick replay here and see what happens. So car number 15 here has a run on 17. I think dips their wheels in the grass, which stuffs up their braking, and then that makes them go into the back of car number 17. Unfortunate for number 17. They were having a decent race, and unfortunately it is what it is. But like I said, it is absolute carnage in the F4 series. Everyone is driving for their life. It is absolutely crazy, but nonetheless, just gonna have to keep our head down and keep digging. Car 15 just sort of scurrying off, even though they caused that unfortunate incident with car number 17. But this time we've got the run on car number 7. This is the final lap, heading into the final chicane. Can we pull it off this time? Managed to pull the car up, managed to navigate and keep the car facing the right direction this time off the exit. Still a little bit unsettled off the exit, and so our momentum is a little bit compromised. Car 7 is still hanging in there, so we're gonna hang, try and go for the defensive line here. Managed to hold off car 7's attack, and now exited the final corner. We get better momentum compared to 15. We're gonna drag ourselves alongside them. Gonna take liberty of the track limits. This is the final lap, down to the wire, across the start finish line. Barely anything in it. P4. Yes, that was a battle for P4. It wasn't even for the podium, it was for P4. And it was absolutely crazy. As we look at the replay here, you can see our momentum was severely compromised off the exit of the chicane. Allows car 7 to really hang in there with us, so we just got to hold that defensive line, which somehow we managed to pull off, especially when it came to the braking. And another red car there hanging in the mix as well, waiting in the wings. And you can see car 15 doesn't exactly get the best exit compared to us. That allows us to get alongside them. Again, taking liberty of the track limits. We're just going to ignore that for a second. And we're just going to drag race them all the way across the line. Absolutely nothing in it. If you have a look and see just how close. Nothing. There's nothing in it. Such a close finish. I am out of breath. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, please do leave a like, and please do subscribe. It would very much help me out. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.